Kaylee, no. Good girl. Hello, I'm Eric Sills, the Assistant Vice Chancellor for OIT Shared Services, and I direct NC State's High Performance Computing Service. The HPC service is comprised of compute and storage hardware, software, and staff support. The computational resource is an approximately 1,000-node Linux cluster with about 10,000 Intel x86-64 cores. There are separate networks connecting compute nodes to storage and job management and for message passing between nodes. The current standard compute node has a 25 gigabit Ethernet network connection to storage and an InfiniBand network connection for message passing. However, as I'll discuss more later, there are a variety of compute node configurations contained in the Henry II Linux cluster. Each HPC project is provided with 10 terabytes of scratch space for running jobs. The research storage is also directly accessible from the Henry II Linux cluster. There's a terabyte of archive storage space available for each project. However, with the availability of research storage, this is not needed by most projects. There are several system software packages that are used for operating the cluster, and the staff maintain a number of application software packages. There are also procedures in place for user-supported applications if the app that you need isn't one of the ones supported by the staff. Our team of computational scientists assist with general troubleshooting and support, provide training, assist with code porting and optimization, provide consulting, and are also available for collaboration, where they devote a portion of their time to work on specific research projects. The Henry II cluster is located in the university's Data Center 2. This is a secure facility with backup power provided by uninterruptible power supplies and a diesel generator. The facility also has its own backup chiller in the event of any issues with supply of campus chilled water. Henry II occupies about 2 rows of space in the data center. And here is a somewhat out-of-date view of the network rack with the core Ethernet network connections for the cluster. HPC projects are available to any faculty member without charge. Once created, other Unity IDs can be added to the project to enable Henry II access for students and collaborators. Access is also available for courses to utilize Henry II for instruction. Research projects can be set up using the Research Services web app. This is the same app used to manage research storage. Course projects can be set up by sending a request to oit_hpc@help.ncsu.edu with the course and section numbers. The roll will be pulled from registration and records and access enabled for the registered students. The majority of the nodes in the cluster have been purchased by HPC partners, primarily faculty members. Partners have a dedicated LSF queue with access to the amount of resources they have added to the cluster. Partner jobs also receive increased priority in the general queues. Partner participation is the essential component of the HPC funding model that we have implemented at NC State. In alignment with the funding patterns and staffing levels we have at NC State, we use a continuous refresh strategy. That is, we are continuously adding new nodes to the cluster as new partner purchases occur, and over time, as nodes become uneconomical to operate and the power and cooling they are using is needed for new nodes, nodes are retired. There are advantages and disadvantages to this refresh strategy, as opposed to a periodic forklift replacement of the entire cluster. The primary advantage from a user perspective is that there are always nodes with the most recent Intel processors available. The primary disadvantage is that there are not a huge number of identical nodes, so the capacity to run a job on identical processors is significantly less than the overall cluster capacity. The HPC website contains much more information about the service. Since COVID-19, Lisa Lowe, one of the computational scientists, has created videos of the basic HPC training that we used to offer during semester breaks. So that training is now available anytime, online on demand. To set up a research project, use the Research Services web app. The same app is used to set up research storage allocations, both individual and for awarded contracts and grants. Thank you for your interest in NC State's high-performance computing service. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please send them to oit_hpc@help.ncsu.edu.